beach episode. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess K. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the newest episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. Episode 7, I want to say. And it is the beach episode. Yes, I already know about it because you guys spoiled me on the fucking Discord. um, yeah, I mean, not really much else to say in regards to that. It's just you guys were posting like the promo stuff and everything, and even though I didn't like look into it and all, it was obviously labeled as being the beach episode and everything. And so it unfortunately kind of got spoiled on it because of that. Wish I didn't know that going in, but here we are. Here we are. The funny thing is, I wouldn't have known that if you guys hadn't spoiled me, because the thumbnail is really the only thing I look at when a new episode comes out. I don't look at the title because I don't want spoilers. I might end up accidentally seeing it sometimes, or with other stuff as well, not just this, but I usually just try to look at the thumbnail, and the thumbnail would not have told me anything about this. It just shows kind of the core cast just looking forward, looking towards the screen. Not really much to go with there, which is good because it doesn't tell me much. But knowing this is a beach episode because of, all the spoilers and everyone posting shit, and it's just like, I wish you guys didn't do that. I really wish you didn't. I understand you're excited for the new episode and everything, and I'm not really that angry, I'm gonna make clear, but it's just, it's a personal thing. Like I've talked about before, I like to be as spoiler-free as possible. And unfortunately, like, that's, I mean, obviously not going to tell everything that this episode's going to be about, especially since we're reaching the end of the series. So there's obviously going to be more of the, story and character related stuff in this like we got last time. But I still just kind of wish I didn't know that it was a beach episode. I feel like it would have been better to not know that. But yeah, like I said, I'm not actually angry or anything with you guys. I just like, and again, I know you're like sharing like, oh, here's the trailer for it on the Amazing Digital Circus channel on the Discord. Here's it comes out at this time on this day. Here's the premiere link for it. I know you guys are excited. I know you want to share it, so I'm not like really upset. I could probably just mute the channel if it's really that big of an issue. Which I will probably do around the time that the next episode is going to be coming out, because just to take precautions. But that's all I know about the episode. I'm recording this obviously the day after it came out. I don't really know exactly what to expect, but I'm hoping to enjoy it as I always do. This series has been fantastic. I've loved the depths it's gone into with its characters. I love the creativity, and I'm very excited to see like what we get for these final episodes. So, especially after last time with the stuff with Jax and all. And the post-credit from last episode as well, with Kane looking like he's about to abstract or something. But yeah, I'm very, very interested. So let's just get into this and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So all of it was fake. The entire thing with Abel, the entire just setup with like the entire rivalry, not really rivalry, but disagreement with Kinger. It was all to make it seem more realistic. Kane did this for fun, I guess. But it very much seemed like when Jax, and to a lesser degree the others, were confronting him afterwards, it seemed like he didn't understand that this upset them. And we know Kane is an AI. That much I think is like confirmed, or at least very least obvious. Even if it's like even if Abel was lying, I do think Kane is an AI. That's not a question. I don't think Kane is a person. But if this was all set up by Kane and Abel was just an NPC, then like even just everything that he told them, and by extension us, about the real world isn't correct. About CNA getting like too big for their britches and getting like out of control, and the pods and everything. Unless somehow Kane knows some things, like he could know about CNA because we've seen the logo in various places. That's not that big of a deal. He might have used that because of that. But it seems like certain details and everything just weren't true in like really any way. And obviously there's the little hint that we got about like the first abstraction, someone named Scratch, whatever that means. And that's very curious in and of itself. But Jax pressing the red button seems more out of fear than like him like trying to call bullshit on this entire thing. Because he seemed surprised that he was right. He seemed surprised that he actually called that. We saw he was starting to hyperventilate again, and we saw that he was having these flashes of what looked like the real world. Maybe some events that led to him coming here originally. And it definitely makes me wonder if Jax's life in the real world was really bad. Like really upsetting to the point of this. Maybe he came here on purpose somehow. And he might not remember all of that, but has some level of knowledge that he doesn't want to go back. Maybe he, like, due to trauma or something, he blocked it from his mind. So it's like, there's a lot of questions that this obviously raises. The beach episode part obviously was nothing. It was like 5 minutes and amounted to pretty much nothing. It wasn't really that relevant at all. So calling this the beach episode is obviously, a misnomer. It's intentionally misleading, just like the entire thing with Abel was. Like, honestly, calling this, like, the Chinese door would have been more accurate, would have made more sense, or even The Office or something like that. But that would have probably given a lot more away ahead of time, so I can understand the crew, Gooseworks, and everyone else wanting to call it something a little less obvious. Though, I think most people understand that it's one of the last episodes. There's going to be some big information, big possible lore drops, big character moments. But, yeah, this is clearly, like, the last adventure. I don't think we're going to get one next episode, because I think next episode is going to be finding our way out for real. The one thing I've kind of been wondering about since the beginning is, by the end of this, are we going to actually see the characters in the human world? Are we going to actually see what they really look like? because obviously everyone who does art for this series has pretty much imagined like these human variations of them. And personally, I don't like almost any of the ones I've seen because they're all just a human copy of exactly the same design. And I hate that. It's a personal thing, but it's so lacking in creativity. It's like Ragatha, for example, still has red hair, still in the same style, same facial expressions. Pomni looks exactly the same, just as a human. It's like there's no creativity to it. And I guess because Zubul was like a bartender and tattoo artist, like they always have like this short pink, messy hair and piercings and tattoos all over the place. And it's just like, it's so unoriginal and bland. I want their human designs, if we do see them, to look nothing like what they look like here. I want them to look literally nothing like you would expect. Like maybe have Ragatha, for example, be blonde, have her hair normally tied back in a ponytail and everything. Just look completely different. Completely different body type and everything. Maybe Pomni is like really tall in the real world, stuff like that. Just, you get the idea. Because I feel like having those kind of designs would be more creative, more interesting, and less expected. I feel like having them just look the same would be so lazy. And this show is so creative, I don't want it to fall into that trap. But yeah, this episode basically raised our hopes for a lot of lore and character stuff and kind of dashed most of it. The vast majority of like everything we learned in this episode, I don't know why my arms were crossed there because they were kind of like folded up, I guess, but everything we learned in this episode was false. So we didn't actually learn anything except that the first abstraction was, you know, I forget the name now. I said it before and now I forgot it. But we learned the name of the first person to abstract. That's literally it. And I guess Ribbit's name was brought up too, because I don't think their name was ever mentioned before. But yeah, that's it. Nothing else is reliable. And it's almost, the interesting thing is like the false revelation that Kinger was one of the people working on this is also kind of funny, because the idea of it is like that's what everybody had been thinking for most of the series, but especially after the gun episode last time where Kinger did the butterfly thing. People were like, oh, could Kinger be like a secret admin and everything? Of course, people also, for some fucking reason, thought Jax was, like, an AI or something, and it's just, like, that was just the dumbest theory. But I think that that was supposed to play with that idea that people would think that Kinger was someone who worked on this. I don't think he is. I think that was misleading. I think that's the point. It was a lie that Kane thought up of and had his actor, the fake Abel, like, just exposit to them with no actual evidence or, like, reason for it. It was just some random part of this adventure. And so, yeah, really, really fascinating penultimate episode. I'm very curious as to, like, if the last episode's going to be, like, extra long. Because I feel like it almost has to be. Because this episode was, what, 33.5 minutes, I think? 32:55. Okay, so just under 33 minutes. But that's including credits and everything. I almost feel like the last episode should be double length. I don't know if it's going to be quite that long. Maybe, like, 35 to 40 minutes. But I feel like it almost needs to be longer to close all of this out. I think I don't because without it being longer, I don't see how we're gonna do enough. Because we still have to deal with like all of the characters' like emotional states, given everything. Especially Jax's, like he's still fucked up, and there's a lot of lore we still have to learn. We got to have at least some epilogue part. We have to have the actual escape. There's so much left to do. Also, we have to apparently find out about the first abstraction because that's now set up. Um, I don't know if we're gonna like have time to like showcase like anything regarding Ribbit or Kaufmo. There's just so much, and unless the episode is longer, I just don't know how they're going to like close this all out. Because in like 30 minutes, I don't know if that's enough time to satisfyingly finish this. I don't see it. And so I think episode eight's release date was revealed too. Let me look that up real quick. Because I think episode 7 and 8, their release dates were announced at the same time. Amazing Digital Circus, episode 8, release date. March 20th is what this is saying. Yeah. So they announced December 12th for episode 7 and March 20th. So we still have a few months to go. I am really hoping that this ends up being like extra long. It doesn't have to be like an hour, but just like upwards of 40 minutes, I think would be fine. Um, that's my hope for it. But otherwise, yeah, this episode was basically almost like a big middle finger, almost like a big like trick. It led us to believe we were learning a lot more and we just didn't. We learned very little. It was still entertaining, it was still good, obviously. A lot of great character moments, a more serious tone for sure. And definitely some setups for next time. But yeah, this is leading us into the finale. And I just really hope that this sticks to landing. Because the series has been great. It's not been perfect, mind you, but it's been great. And I would love to see the final episode just keep that momentum and ride it all the way to the end. So tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode. If there's anything like any little details or whatnot I missed, like yeah, let me know about that. Um, but that all being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.